Hello, this is Sinister Gambino here with a new stream. In this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week. That started on Thursday. I'm going to follow online, and again, I'm starting on a, like, early Tuesday, whatever, but whatever. I wanted to do this one like an hour earlier, but apparently Rockstar only updated the game with a downloadable update, not like an actual content update, but like a downloadable one, yes. Which for PC apparently actually apparently it makes like PC like loading faster for like online at least or something. From what I've heard, not sure if that's true, but I've heard things about it. Does sound like that's true. I don't know what it would do for consoles for the new downloadable update, not an actual content update again. And apparently Reddit Online has a Outlaw Pass number 5 now as of today. So given the fact that it got Outlaw Pass like right after the other one, I'm assuming that means no update to like May or June for that game. If you know the last update is pretty for that game. Like barely any actual huge content additions for like the event weeks and stuff for that update. And I did actually get Nachos to level 20 and then like level 10 on the trader role as well, which was my goal as I mentioned on that Red Dead stream that I did a day or two ago. I did actually fulfill those goals. But yeah, anyways, for this stream, podium vehicle for the week is apparently the Heavy Night Shark for the last day or two of the event week. That started on Thursday, whatever. Just now getting to it and all, but whatever. Better late than never, I suppose. But going to title of this stream, the main thing I'd say for money would definitely be the 2x money RP on the Martin missions. Then there's also Lamar missions, 2x money RP for another option. I do recommend Martin missions over Lamar missions for sure. Business battles as well are 2x money RP if you want to stick to free mode, which is nice. So that would probably be the best free mode. In fact, it's the only free mode money opportunity, I believe. Transform races and Untitled remix are also double money RP, which I think that's all the money opportunities for the event week. So it's nothing but money opportunities for title and spectator, and obviously there's the discounts and stuff, but I don't have that on a spectator or anything. Okay, I was about to say I don't even want the night shark because I already have a night shark. Okay, you got ranks down under 27 from the wheel, apparently. But yeah, that's heavy night shark. So as per usual, I'll go over podium vehicle first. However, there's no other vehicle to go over since all the vehicle additions are done in the game for sure now. Now at the Briosa 300 got its full release. And the weaponized thingy or whatever was the one I needed, that last needed like release at all. All the vehicles have actually been released from this update, from what I recall. There's a little preview on some discounts. But yeah. Heavy Night Shark. By getting a vehicle, you save $1,245,000 for the stock vehicle. Does have a livery. This vehicle does have liveries, but it didn't seem to have a livery on it. So it seems it does not come with a livery for this particular one on the podium. But yeah. Night Shark's a pretty interesting podium vehicle because it's one that's useful for more than just a racing situation pretty much. Because obviously a lot of podium vehicles are very bare bone, like basic civilian vehicles. This one's way more useful than just purely for like racing circumstances, which is nice. At least for money making, at least. But yeah. Night Shark's like an armored vehicle in the game, of course. There's quite a bunch of armored vehicles. For an armored vehicle, it's actually pretty speedy, so you do get that. Not only is it armored, it's also pretty speedy. However, with it being very speedy, I'm sure that it's nowhere near the like best armored vehicle in the game. Like, if anything, maybe it can survive like 10 to 20 like explosives around there at most. But I believe when inside like an insurgent pickup custom, for example, I think when inside of that one you can take like 30 missiles, for example, for the insurgent pickup custom. And obviously there's like the Avenger and the MOC. Also the Terabyte as well. Not so much the Kosakta, that one has way less explosive resistance, but like those property / vehicles, those have better explosive resistance, I'd say, as well. So it probably does have some pretty decent, at worst, armor. I'd say 10 to 20 missiles around are at best. But yeah. Even if the explosive resistance might not be the best, you are getting some pretty good speed, which isn't always the case with very armored vehicles, which is nice. And for weaponry, it pretty much has machine guns, which the machine guns are like pea-shooter machine guns. Night Shark has some pretty horrible machine guns, actually, unfortunately, from what I've heard, and from my experience as well. So really, weaponry is not really anything to write home about, so the main purpose will be the armored capabilities. And even though it does have more money opportunities it can do in just like purely like racing circumstances, it's probably not a very good vehicle for making money in the game, so it's probably not going to be a very useful vehicle, to be fair. And for other weaponry, it might have proximity mines. I don't entirely recall if it has proximity mines, but that could be something which would probably, if it does have proximity mines, it's definitely better than like the machine guns, I'd say. And I think something this can actually do as well is it can actually like have the anti-aircraft trailer in the back of it. So at least if you're playing with a friend, you can at least have an anti-aircraft trailer on it to give it more usefulness. Besides for that, there's not really much to write home about besides for its armor. The weapon capabilities are pretty trash on the actual vehicle. At best, you could just slap like an anti-aircraft trailer with like flax cannons on the back of it, I believe. So I believe it's possible to do that. Nowhere near the worst podium vehicle they've ever done, though, but yeah, nowhere near the worst podium vehicle they've ever done, no doubt. But nowhere near the best one, I would say either. And then premium race time trial, and then the RCB data time trial. Premium race for the event week for the last like couple days of it now. I'm doing it like early Tuesday when it ends early Thursday, whatever. Premium race for 8-figure bonus for the sports classic class. So I'll go over the sport classic class for the raceable options. And credit for that will go to Buffy 1322. But yeah, top 3 for lap time for the sport classic class. 8-figure bonus. Seems like it takes place in the city. It kind of shows off a little highway in that image there. I don't know what exactly would mean by the 8 figure. Maybe it's like a 8 shape somewhere around the highway or something. So I kind of want to say top speed, at least off the image, could be a good one actually. But never know when it takes place in the city for sure. Even if the initial image takes place in the highway, so I guess I'll go over both off time and top speed. Especially because Sport Classic class is not one I typically go over. But yeah, first place for lap time for the Sport Classic class is the Turismo Classic. It's probably like a few to several 100,000 at most. So it shouldn't be that expensive compared to other classes, of course. And in second place for a lap time for the Sport Classic class is the Cheetah Classic. Which again, probably similar price range, but yeah, Turismo Classic's probably not much more or anything. Plus obviously there's the Cayo Perico Heist now, which is the #1 best money making method in the game, unless like the new downloadable update nerfed it or something for today. And obviously not like a new content update or anything, just a downloadable like patch or something. So as long as that didn't change anything, it's basically the best money making method, and you can make like $1 million very easily per like heist. Even with like the worst primary target. So you might as well just go to Turismo Classic. And in third place for lap time for the Sport Classic class is the Rapid GT Classic. And then for top speed, top 3 for top speed for the Sport Classic class, first place is the Z-Type, which I believe that one's like 900,000 compared to like 10 million from like the story mode. I believe it's only 900,000 like online. So probably more than all the like lap time options for the Z-Type for #1 for top speed for the Sport Classic class. And Z-Type's like a vehicle from like day 1 of the game, so quite a ways down on the Legendary Motorsport website. And #2 for top speed for the Sport Classic class is the Visitorist from like the Doomsday Heist update, which is one of those like Sport Classic vehicles that can actually have like weapons applied to them. However, even if you apply weapons on them, you can still use them in races. It just disables the weapons, obviously. It's not one of those weaponized vehicles that can't be used in races. It's actually a weaponized vehicle that can be used in races for the Visitorist. That's #2 for top speed. Which I would probably just recommend the Z-Type for that one, especially again, because you can make $1 million pretty easily in like one Cayo Perico Heist. And then finally, #3 for top speed for the Sport Classic class is the Monroe. Dottie Monroe, I think it is. And a Monroe, again, I believe like the Z-Type's a day 1 vehicle from the game, so that's way down on the Legendary Motorsport website. So we have to scroll quite the ways down for that one. And honestly, it's probably the cheapest of the options, but again, you might as well go to #1 when you can make $1 mil pretty easily, unless the like latest patch changed it or something. It might just be like a bug fix update for all I know. Probably, honestly. So hopefully don't do some sneaky nerfs with the heist with that update that came out today. So yeah, that's the premium race. Time trial. Time trial for the week is Galileo Park. Quartz Center. I think it's like over here or something. I don't know, I think that's the Quartz Center or something. Unless this itself is Quartz Center. So I don't know if it gives much of a description on where it goes to, but yeah. Probably lap time, I'd say, on this one, with all the turns and stuff around the hills and all that. But yeah, as per usual, I'll go over the super class and the motorcycle class. I'll start with the supercar class. But yeah, number one for lap time for the supercar class is the Progen Emirates, which is like $2.9 million. But yeah, like $2.9 million, I believe the Progen Emirates is around there. And that's number one lap time for the supercar class. Number two for the supercar class is the Benefactor Krieger, which is like 2.7 mil, I believe. And then number three for lap time for the supercar class is the NS S80RR, which is like the one-seater supercar from the Down Casino Resort DLC. In fact, all of the top three for supercar classes all from the Down Casino Resort DLC, so not that far down on our Journey Motorsport website for all three of those. And if I didn't mention in this S80RR, I believe it is 2.5 million-ish around there. So they're all pretty balanced for price. I'd say definitely just go to Progen Emirates for the supercar class if you're going a good lap time option. If you want to use a supercar. Since if you're not going to use a motorcycle, you're probably going to be using a supercar. And then top three for top speed for the supercar class. Number one for the supercar class is the P-Fister 811 for top speed. Which that one's from like mid-2016 with like finance bounty updates. So quite a ways down on that one. That one's like 1,135,000, 1,145,000, somewhere around there. So not that bad, nowhere near the amount of the top three for lap time for supercar class. Honestly, you're probably not going to get much use out of top speed on this time trial. And then number two for top speed for the supercar class is the Devastate 8, Principe Devastate 8. That one's like $1.8 million. Though I think it was on discount for the last event week. But yeah, sure that's not a thing for this event week. So yeah, I probably would recommend Devastate 8 being more expensive than the number one option for top speed. And then finally, third place for top speed for the supercar class is the Banshee 900R, which requires converting the regular Banshee from day one of the game, which is like 130-ish thousand, to supercar. Which I believe the cheaper vehicles tend to have more expensive upgrade prices, so that would probably get it to around $1 million without like performance upgrades even. But yeah, I'd probably just go with the P-Fister 811. And yeah, if you're not going to use a supercar, you're probably going to be using a motorcycle. So I'll go over top three lap time and top speed for the motorcycle class. But yeah, going into top three lap time for the motorcycle class. Number one option is the Nagasaki Shotaro, which is like $2.3 million. And I believe if you don't have it on the Legendary Motorsport website, it requires playing a match at Deadline. As long as you play a match at Deadline, you will be able to unlock the vehicle for purchase. don't have to win or lose the match as long as you play through it. So it doesn't matter how you place in that mode. But yeah. Nagasaki Shotaro, I believe, is also unique with the fact that it can like get its best speed forward or backwards with the stick. So you can lean forward or backwards, kind of like a stoppie or a wheelie, and we just the only motorcycle that works that way for best possible speed. Number 2 for a motorcycle class for a lap time is the Shitsu Hakuto Drag, which is like $800,000-$900,000. So way cheaper than Shotaro, but you might as well just go that anyways, with how easy it is to make money these days. Assuming it wasn't changed with the new like patch that came out today. Which is probably just bug fixes, but still, maybe they could change something with that. I believe Hakuto Drag is one of the 2 motorcycles in the game that you have to lean forward with the stick to get the best possible speed. So it's similar to ATV where you have to lean forward with the stick to get the best possible speed out of the vehicle. Only other motorcycle I think that works that way is the Nightblade, but I don't think that's even a competitive option. And then finally 3rd place for lap time, but also 3rd place for top speed, only one for top 3 lap time and top speed for the motorcycle class, is the Body 801, which is a motorcycle from day 1 of the game, like 8,000 to 10,000, somewhere around there. So a very cheap vehicle for that one. And I would highly recommend the Body 801 for a good, like, average vehicle for any time trial, being top 3 lap time, top speed. For a motorcycle class, only one that's in both. And yeah, motorcycles are like way more spacious, like don't take up as much space compared to like a supercar. So yeah, probably 801 is probably the best option for any time trial. But yeah, going to top speed. First place for top speed for the motorcycle class is the new Manja Scout from the latest update, the Cayo Perico Heist, which is quite a ways up from the Warstock website. You should already find it pretty early in there. By the way, Body 801 and then the rest of the vehicles mentioned for motorcycles, you have to lean backwards of stick for best possible speed, as if you're doing a wheelie. So you keep that in mind when using the last 4 vehicles mentioned. The Manja Scout, I believe, is like 200-ish thousand, so not that much for the stock vehicle. But still, Body 801 is cheaper, and it's also top 3 lap time, top speed only motorcycle, and that's the case. But yeah. Second place for top speed for motorcycle class is the BF400. BF400, I believe, is around the same price range as the Manja Scout, like 100-200,000. However, the BF400 does have something pretty unique that other motorcycles don't. There might be a couple more motorcycles like that, but BF400 can also be used in off-road races. So not only is it a decent top speed time trial vehicle, you can also use the BF400 as a good like off-road vehicle for off-road races. And because the off-road class mainly consists of like proper vehicles, not like motorcycles, it has quite the advantages over the rest of the vehicles in the off-road class. So BF400 is a very good off-road racing vehicle, even more so than it is good at time trials, especially with the Manja Scout thrown in as the number 1 now for top speed. And then finally, again, the Body 801 is also 3rd place top speed, like it's top 3 lap time as well. So yeah, that's regular time trial. And finally, our CBN data time trial for the week is Construction Site 1. And thankfully for this one, same with the next free as well, I do have our CBN data time trial guide. The mine are more for experts, whatever, because I'm pretty wordy with my descriptions and stuff to try to obviously give advice on the time trials as much as possible. Though for other guides on our Simulator time trial guide, I recommend GTA Men if you want commentary. Or of course, if you watch GTA series videos close enough, they don't do commentary, but if you watch the video close enough, you should get a good idea on how to do Construction Site 1. But yeah, GTA Men is really good time trial guides if you don't want to watch mine. And yeah, since you can only really use one vehicle, there's not really much advice to give from at least. But yeah, with frame race and the time trials out the way, I believe the next thing to go over is the money opportunities. But yeah. I believe I'll start with going over the business battle, since it's the only one that's a free mode money opportunity, not through the pause menu. And therefore not through separate lobbies. But yeah. I wonder what this is. I'm gonna check this actually really quick for a second. If it's a drug vehicle, then I don't care. Looks like a drug vehicle to me, unless it's some Cayo Perico thing or something. That's definitely just a drug vehicle, whatever. I think. Is it? I'm not used to one of the features. Usually the ones I get are ones of lowriders or something. Alright, yeah, it's just So I still need the key for the Cayo Perico pistol, because obviously the random event's too much out the way for the perhaps in setup, so I've never got it before. And obviously it requires good luck and randomness and stuff. But yeah, business battles is the only free mode money opportunity for the event week for the last couple of days of it left, since I'm doing this pretty late into the event week. But yeah, business battles allows you to get stuff for your nightclub, of course, which is the #1 ultimate passive business in the game. So nightclub is actually the best thing you could combine with the Cayo Perico Heist actually. So I highly recommend doing business battles, even if it's just one or two for the event week, because that's stuff you can get to get your nightclub money up, of course. So yeah, with the nightclub being the ultimate thing you can do along with the Cayo Perico Heist, definitely highly recommend doing business battles. And not only do you get paid with the nightclub stuff that goes into the like actual product. You also get like money put into your bank, I believe, every time you do a business battle as well. Business battles are also really easy to like get into free mode lobbies as well. You only need like 3 people that are actually like outside of the map. You only need like 3 people like out of the map, like not inside of properties, at like bare minimum for business battles to spawn. Obviously the best business battles as well as the ones that have like 8 crates or whatever. Because as long as you can get more than 2, that's more efficient than like a traditional business battle. But if you can get like the one with the like aircraft, what the one with the like the aircraft carrier, or the ones in like the factory that have like 8 product or whatever, those are definitely the best ones to get. So yeah, that's all the advice with business battles I can think of. Is you can do like invite only lobbies of like 3 people that are like actively on the map, you and like 2 friends. That's the best way of getting the business battles to spawn. Without having to like try your luck in like public lobby. So yeah, that's definitely all the strategies I can think of with business battles. And the rest of this stuff, I believe, is through like the pause menu. So we're going over it while going on the pause menu, so that I can better explain them with like visual stuff. Since business battles, obviously, I can't even get them in a like 1-person invite only lobby, obviously. And even if I was in a different lobby, it would involve like luck, obviously, skill with the top remote. If they even spawn in and stuff. First one I think I'll go over for the pause menu money opportunities is the transform races. So anything with transform will be double money in RP. Anything with transform hyphen and then the name afterwards of the particular one. All of those are on 2 times money RP. And you can do these solo, so they are solo friendly, which is pretty nice. Unlike business battles, which at least requires 3 people on the map, like not in properties and stuff for those to spawn. Though if they do spawn, of course they are solo friendly for business battles. But yeah. Transform races, you can do them solo, and I believe you can get like 16,000 in like 8 minutes, I believe it is. I believe that you only have to spend like 8 minutes for the max payout in a race, I believe. So you can get like 16,000, I believe, solo. But yeah, you might as well do contact missions that are best paid out when you like do them as fast as possible. Or of course you can try your luck with other players, obviously. But I wouldn't recommend that at all. Bad thing with the transform races though is if you want to do the best in transform races, you actually have to like own every single like custom vehicle for the vehicles that like appear in transform races. So the vehicles you need custom versions of will like vary vastly between every transform race. It's not like all the other races where it's like one particular vehicle, or vehicles of like one class. And you just use like the best vehicles in a class, or like the one vehicle that's allowed to be used. Transform races have like the biggest variety of vehicles, so you want to be pretty knowledgeable on which ones are used in races. Obviously there's certain vehicles in transform races that can't be customized with like engine upgrades and stuff. But yeah, you want to be very informed on what vehicles you need for custom vehicles if you want to do the absolute possible best on Transform races. So for that reason, I don't really recommend it too much, especially when playing with other players. Next, I'll go over the contact missions. But yeah, any mission that's Lamar or Martin Madrazo are all 2x money RP. And there is a good strategy with the money opportunity with the different contact missions. There is one that's way better, I'd say, than the others for sure. And I might even show it off on stream at the end. Might do a playthrough of it. But yeah, I think like this one, for example, is a Lamar one. And actually, it's worth mentioning this as well. But most times when they do like particular money opportunities of like normal contact missions, they don't include like the story missions. But no, lowrider missions are actually 2x money RP as well. So if you've been wanting to play lowrider missions, play something different, then you can do lowrider missions 2x money RP as well, not just the regular Lamar missions. Which for Lamar, I wouldn't be surprised if the lowrider missions are the best for making money for Lamar missions. Though honestly, the Lamar lowrider missions are a pain in the ass. You might as well just stick to the regular Lamar missions, if anything. Not to mention, half of them require 4 players, and then other ones require 2 to 4. The regular Lamar missions, I believe, all can be soloed, actually. Which you can't really say the same for Martin Madrazo. But most of Martin Madrazos can be soloed as well, and I do recommend him. But yeah. For Martin Madrazo, dispatch services are also 2x money RP. But these aren't really necessarily like story missions, so I'm not surprised to see dispatch on 2x money RP. But yeah. Aside from Los Santos Connection, dispatch services are basically the best contact missions to play for the event week, I'd say. Because they use like the updated contact mission payout that even Los Santos Connection does not. So yeah, honestly, there's so many different missions through here. You just gotta search through all the different ones. Dispatch are probably the easiest ones to find in here. All the lowrider ones have pretty unique names, so those ones the most difficult probably to find in this menu. But there is one mission I highly recommend over the rest of them for this event week. And that is the Los Santos Connection. As you can see in the image, there's these green crates that actually have money in addition to the additional payout. So this is the only contact mission in the entire game that has 2 different ways of paying out. Has the regular contact mission payout, which is 2x money RP for this particular event week even. But not only that, I believe you can get $8,000 through the green crates as well, in addition to the payout with the mission. It's the only mission in this game that actually works that way from all the different contact missions in this list. I'm pretty positive on that. So the Los Santos Connection is definitely in a tier of its own. It's the most top tier contact mission in this entire game for payout. Unless it's not on double money RP, and then other missions are double money RP, and I use the updated payout, I suppose. So it's very rare in terms of the circumstance that this isn't the best paying mission. It's obviously dependent on event weeks and stuff. But 90 to 95% of the time, this is basically the best mission to play in the entire game. And not only that, you can actually make a playlist of it. If you want to make a playlist of it, though, you do have to do it way differently than you do the other playlists. You have to go through recently played jobs, and you have to actually play the job if you want it in here. Besides for Step City Survival, by the way, funnily enough, I don't even remember playing any of these ones down here, so I don't even know how those are down here, but whatever. But yeah, if you play Los Santos Connection, it will be in recently played jobs. You can't go through mission because it only has like versus missions, and like I think adversary modes are included in the mission section as well. So it's not in the mission section like it is in like the job list. You have to go through recently played jobs, and you have to actually play the mission you want. When it comes to this method, there are like limitations or whatever, such as like the story missions, like the Lamar, the casino, and probably the Super Yacht Life missions as well. I don't think you can do playlists with those missions. So there are limitations with it. Not very many limitations, and then I believe like the free mode co-op ones, or like the more secretive contact missions in the game, that can only be done for like a playlist or for like a Corona on the map. I think those can't be done for playlists as well, for this method at least. But still, 90% of the contact missions that you can play in this game probably can do as a playlist for recently played jobs, as long as you've played it, obviously. So if you want to make a playlist rather than having to go back to free mode constantly to play the same mission over and over, that's how you do it. So that's the best way to make money with the contact missions, which Sites for Business Battles is definitely the best money opportunity for the event week. But obviously, Cayo Perico Heist is definitely still the best, I'd say, to do. But still, if you want to change it up, obviously the contact missions are good. And business battles as well. And last but not least is Hunting Pack Remix. But Hunting Pack Remix is one of the most like latest adversary modes that have been in the game. But yeah, Hunting Pack Remix takes place on all kinds of like stunt courses and stuff, and there's like a vehicle you have to make sure you have to try and stop. You have to like try and stop a vehicle from like moving and stuff, I believe. And like, so yeah, like one person has to like try not to be stopped, I believe. Basically, it's kind of like the Velocity VIP work in the game, but it's for like an adversary mode. But you also have like other players trying to stop you as well. And obviously the vehicles are different depending on the map you play. Obviously the maps don't really make much of a difference aside for the vehicles. The payouts should be the same obviously on all the maps. But obviously certain maps might be better than others. And because there's so many adversary modes in this game, it's hard to say for sure like what the payout would kind of be. But yeah, I really don't see this being all that fun. I really don't see this being, I mean like fun, yes I see it being very fun, but for making money it's not really going to be that good. It's probably the weakest of the money opportunities, either that or transform races. However, there is actually something very interesting you can do with Hunting Pack Remix. I believe if you I believe if you win a match of Hunting Pack Remix, you actually unlock the trade price for the Scramjet. So if you don't have the trade price for the Scramjet, this is actually a really good event to do it with Hunting Pack Remix being 2 times money RP. Unlike Deadline, I believe you do have to win a match at Hunting Pack Remix, however, if you want that trade price for the Scramjet. So that's kind of an incentive, I believe, to play Hunting Pack Remix if you don't have the trade price of the Scramjet yet. Pretty sure that's how you unlock that trade price. So there is actually a vehicle trade price you can unlock with one of the money opportunities for the event week actually, which is pretty interesting. So definitely a good time to get that trade price. And obviously I already have the trade price, so I'm just going off of memory, but I think that's the case. And I think that should be it for the money opportunities, so I think probably just discounts left to go over now. There is actually some login rewards. Starting off, there's the Faded Dinka T. Which, to get the Faded Dinka T, all GTA Online players who previously picked up the Dinka T will get a faded version of the Dinka Age T for a login reward. So for those who have the regular Dinka T, there's a faded Dinka T in the game now. Unless that's a previous login reward and they're just doing it again or something, but even if that is the case, it's a new login reward from its current DLC, so if anything, it might be just from a few weeks ago or something. But yeah, it's probably entirely new, I'm guessing. There's also a Neon Skull emissive mask. There's also a Neon Skull emissive mask and a Los Santos Panic Prolapse basketball kit. But I think those are from like previous event weeks. I think they're all from previous event weeks. I think for a fact that the Panic's Prolapse basketball top and then shorts, I believe those ones were old ones. So from like a week or two ago. Which the Prolapse basketball top requires, like, yeah, the top requires just doing the finale for the Cayo Perico Heist. However, if you want the shorts, you do have to steal secondary targets. Completing any prep for the Doomsday Heist, on the other hand, gets you the Neon Skull emissive mask, which I think that's the old one as well. Well, I'm not sure. For like the last event week or something. So yeah, that's how to get like all them like login rewards for the week. And I guess I'll check out the Dinka like, Faded Tea in particular, since I don't care to unlock clothing through like things. Especially things that aren't like double money RP, I especially don't care for clothing that requires things that are just ordinary stuff for the week. I'm not big on collecting all the clothing, to be completely honest, because I'm completely fine with my outfit I have right now.
I'll be here if you really need me.
Only really care if it's like a login reward, to be honest. I don't really go on my way for any like login rewards or anything.
Why does someone always come in just
I'm assuming it's brand spanking new for this one for sure. But yeah, Dinka HT, that's what it looks like. It's basically like a not as good looking version of the Dinka T. And you can only get it by having this previous login reward from a previous event week. whether it was like a few weeks ago, or like months, or even years ago, or something.
I wouldn't wear
But yeah,
most
that's a
of them
login reward for
myself,
those who
I
have
have
the...
to admit.
So yeah, it's been a while, I think, since they've done one like that, but yeah, all of them they do like that. I believe they make just login rewards as long as you have the previous thing. Well, what the heck, but I want to see if she does that again. Damn it. I probably could take her up with me, actually. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, now I think there's only the discount stuff to go over. She was actually staying on the helicopter. I probably could have took her up in the air with me for a moment, but whatever. Okay, yeah, it should only be discounts left. Starting off with discounts, I'm not going to go into a gun store to show it off the ammunition. But the Widowmaker and then the Up and Atomizer, both of those like laser weapons in the game, are actually on discount for 40% off the Widowmaker and Up and Atomizer. But unfortunately, there's no Unholy Hellbringer for 40% off, because that's definitely better than the Widowmaker, but Up and Atomizer is a very good 40% off weapon discount, since it allows you to, like, unload vehicles and stuff. Very weird choice to not include Unholy Hellbringer to have all three of the laser weapons on discount, but still, having two of the three at all on discount is pretty nice, because those are some of the most pricey weapons in the game. And I do have reviewing guides actually on the Widowmaker and Up and Atomizer. Widowmaker is sadly not really that different over the minigun, so it's not really a good one. So I'd save your money on the Widowmaker. But Up and Atomizer is quite the lifesaver if your vehicles get like flipped over and stuff. Oh. Okay, never mind. Unholy Hellbringer is on discount as well, on 40% off. For some reason on the newswire it's listed way below the Widowmaker and also the Up and Atomizer. But yeah, the Unholy Hellbringer, which is basically a like reskinned MG or combat MG, one of them. I think it's the combat MG. I believe the Unholy Hellbringer is like an infinite ammo version of the regular combat MG. Which is especially nice if you have the Mark II version and you miss the regular combat MG. So yeah, all the laser weapons I do have a reviewing guide on. But actually all three of them are on discount. It looked like just two of them at first, but I looked more down on the newswire and it said on the Hellbringer as well. And then going into property discounts, kind of something to go along with like the login, kind of something to go along with the clothing unlock of doing the Doomsday Ice Prep. It kind of is 40% off facilities, as well as customizations and add-ons. But yeah. For example, cheapest facility is now 750,000, and even though it's the cheapest, it's actually pretty nice for the Act 2 finale. It's probably the closest facility for the Act 2 finale, for example. So for that reason, the cheapest one can actually be pretty nice. In fact, a lot of the Doomsday heists actually take place in the like desert, I think, for the actual finales. So having one in that kind of area is actually pretty good. The cheapest one isn't actually all that bad, actually, I'd say. At least for the finales. And yeah. Customizations and add-ons as well, 40% off. Those two are very cosmetic. Orbital Cannon actually has a use. However, that's real if you want to be a dickhead in the game. If you want to be a dickhead, Orbital Cannon is actually 40% off, which, oh great. We definitely need more people getting the Orbital Cannon. That's totally not abused in the game already. Obviously not really good for making money, but it's really good for destroying people. It's making of money, I suppose. Security room allows you to do like strike teams and stuff, so it can be good for people that may grief you and stuff. If you want to annoy people, call like strike teams and stuff on them if they like grief you and stuff, it's pretty nice. They're not really necessarily that effective. So honestly, this one could probably be skipped on. Lounge. I believe it's just purely cosmetic stuff. With the privacy glass and the premieres, I don't think it... Oh yeah, it's not what allows you to spawn in. So Orbital Cannon, Security Room, and I'd say Sleeping Quarters are the couple I'd take advantage of for sure. But yeah. Sleeping Quarters allows you to spawn inside of the property, like every time you go into a new Grand Theft Auto Online session. Which a facility is a pretty good spawn location, I'd say. As long as you have like the vehicles and stuff. However, even then, the sleeping quarters can be kind of redundant as long as you have like an active Doomsday Heist. If you have an active Doomsday Heist, you can basically just spawn there like any time in the like session anyways. But still, I'm sure it's a pretty good spawn location, obviously, if you want to start there for every time you load into a lobby. And having, like, very instantaneous access to your, like, thruster jetpack or, like, the Avenger. Especially vehicles like that, having pretty instant access with sleeping quarters could be pretty nice. So especially sleeping quarters and security room. And for a nuclear option, Orbital Cannon is good as well. And obviously those ones on the bottom of sleeping quarters, just purely cosmetic. Next up is Terabyte. Terabyte's 40% off as well as customizations and add-ons. So I can't really show off the like basic price of the Terabyte since I already own one sadly. But yeah. Definitely quite the nice savings, surely for sure. And the only ones I can show for these are the like cosmetic ones sadly. So I can't show off the price of these, of course. They're surely very nice savings as well. Turret Station. Turret Station, I'm guessing, is what allows you to like control like the missile thing up here or whatever. Which, weaponry on it's not necessarily really that good. So it's kind of easy to pass on the Turret Station. But still, can't go wrong with the Turret Station being allowed to use like the missile thing on here. It's probably nowhere near like the best missiles in the game or anything. Drone Station. Drone Station actually allows you to unlock 2 of the client jobs. Sadly, client jobs haven't been double main RP for like quite a couple DLCs now. But if they ever do 2,000 million RP on client jobs ever again, then drone stations definitely one I highly recommend getting just for having access to all the client jobs, since 2 of them are locked behind the drone station. Funnily enough, even though using a drone station is inefficient for both of those client jobs, but still it allows you to unlock a couple money making opportunities with the drone station. So I do recommend that one. Weapon Workshop. You can actually get a free Weapon Workshop, I believe, when it comes to the arcade property, just by having an active Doomsday Heist. I mean, not Doomsday, but Diamond Casino Heist. As long as you have an active Diamond Casino Heist, I believe the Weapon Workshop's complimentary with the arcade, and you don't have to pay for it. However, the downside of that one is, I believe, if you don't have an active Casino Heist, you can't even use the weapon bench. However, prefer paid Weapon Workshops. I believe the one in the submarine's a pretty good price, and then there's also one with the Arena Workshop, I believe, like the weaponized mechanic, possibly, which might be a pretty good price. Plus, you get more benefits with that one anyways, if there's a Weapon Workshop for the Arena. So it's probably not one of the more valuable Weapon Workshops, to be honest. So if you're only going for one Weapon Workshop between all the properties, you can probably pass on that one. And then, Specialized Workshop allows you to customize the Oppressor Mark II. It's the only workshop in the game that allows you to customize the Oppressor Mark II, which is one of the best vehicles in the game when it comes to grinding purposes. So for that reason, I highly recommend the drone station and the Specialized Workshop in particular. Those are definitely the 2 to get. Weapon Workshop can be an okay one, and a more okay one would be the turret station. But yeah, Terabyte having access to the client jobs is very good for making money. It's actually slightly better in VIP works, at least for regular money, I'd say, for the when it comes to the client jobs. And double money even could compete on double money, of course, with the VIP works, obviously. So, yeah, Speedhole does get you access to some pretty decent money opportunities for free mode money opportunities, that is. However, it is kind of redundant now since there is Cayo Perico Heist. But even if you don't do client jobs, the Terabyte's very worthy of your money, because it's very good for resupplying businesses. Master Control Terminal is good if you want to, wait, damn it, what is this good at? The Master Control Terminal is not. Oh wait, well, for one, the Terabyte has spawn convenience over the arcade, so it does have spawn convenience and you can interact with businesses. You actually cannot resupply businesses. I believe you're only allowed to source for businesses, whereas the Master Control Terminal actually allows you to resupply businesses. Like if they're like a passive business or something. So this is very good for the active businesses in particular, the like CO, cargo, import, export even, and then also the hangar business in particular. Those 3 businesses especially are good with the Terabyte since they allow you, Terabyte allows you to do sourcing easier. It's probably the best way to source stuff in the game, rather than going to your properties. And the Master Control Terminal even, I'd say it's better than that in that regard. However, if you want to buy supplies for like the passive businesses, like the MC businesses and then the bunker business, that's where the Master Control Terminal is better with. So yes, Terabyte still has its purposes even with the Master Control Terminal. Not just because of the spawn convenience, but because of its actual features. So yeah, especially good if you grind. Especially good if you grind CEO business to the original business in the game. The import-export business and the hangar business. Not very good for MC businesses in bunker though. But still, definitely have to use the Super Mass Control Terminal. So having access to very useful business features alone is a good reason to get the Terabyte, because businesses are definitely very worth doing still. Even with Cayo Perico Heist. But yeah. Besides for that, this is a very armored vehicle. Probably more armored than Night Shark, for example, as I mentioned earlier. Probably can take like 20 to 30 explosives, which would be pretty good. So yeah, armored capabilities is pretty good, and weapon capabilities are okay, I'd say. But especially for the business features it provides and the exclusive client jobs, definitely a must for this vehicle. And the ability to customize your customer too, that might honestly be one of the better reasons for sure. So that's all the property discounts. Alright, first discount seems to be on Elitas for vehicle discounts, like full-on vehicle discounts, no property stuff. But yeah. Dodo's not actually on discount, just good stuff at the moment. But yeah. Buckingham Milljet is 40% off. And yeah. Doesn't have weapons, so I guess I'll go over performance of the Milljet. Which is obviously in the planes class. So for performance, the Milljet is 22nd place out of 37 planes in the game. So below average for lap time. And an 18th place for top speed, which is just barely above average for top speed. But yeah, below average lap time and above average top speed. Not really that good for performance. Really, the best thing you're getting with the Milljet is that 16 seating capacity, which, unless you have like all the friends in the world, you're really not going to be using a 16 seat capacity. Which back then it was actually able to fit like a whole like last gen lobby back when it was 16 players, but even then I think they increased it to like 18 players eventually. So especially back on like the PS3 and Xbox 360, and that's a very huge feature, the 16 player feature. But since it wasn't updated to like 30 players or whatever, it's nowhere near as good, I'd say. Still, 16 seats is very impressive. Probably way more than like anything else in this game has. Though there's probably other things that get close, but probably not that much. So really, it's purely if you want a lot of like seat capacity, which is a very niche use. And then there's another one website, like vehicle discount as well, with like the Trojan MRS. But yeah. Okay, actually the Trojan MRS is 2.7 mil. So that was like 200,000, like above what it should have been. But yeah. Trojan MRS is also 40% off. So instead of 2,750,000, it's 1,650,000, 1,100,000 in savings, which is huge. But yeah. Trojan MRS, as mentioned earlier when going over the time trial, is actually #1 for the lap time for supercar class. So you're getting best lap time with this particular supercar for a raceable option. And then you're also getting 6th place for top speed, so performance is very good for the Trojan MRS. So if you have a lot of money to spend, definitely would recommend the Trojan MRS, but besides for racing circumstances, probably not that useful to be honest. And I believe there's only 3 more discounts for the event week, and they're all on war stock, not including Prime Gaming discounts, which I think this is the last week for those. But yeah, starting off with the Mammoth Squatty, obviously being a new vehicle, not 40% off, but 25% off. But that's okay, because the Mammoth Squatty is not very good anyways. Mammoth Squatty may look armored, and it does actually have options for, like, covering the windows. But the Mammoth Squatty is not actually an armored vehicle, even though it looks like it doesn't have any explosive resistance. So it has no explosive resistance even if it looks like it. And then you can put like armor plating on the windows, but the armored plating is just purely cosmetic and is not actually functional on the Squatty. So really you're only getting armored plating on the windows if you want the looks, not actually functional at all. So really it's just a like typical vehicle in the game. It doesn't have any unique attributes besides for like customization kind of stuff. I think this is in the off-road class. Or maybe it's SUV actually. But yeah. For the SUV class, the Mammoth Squatty is 18th place for lap time, which is below average lap time actually for the SUV class. And then for top speed. Top speed of this squatty is actually 19th place, so a placement worse for top speed for the 18th lap time. So performance is absolutely nothing to write home about, so really it's best for customization purposes. However, the biggest complaint with it, definitely I'd say, aside for no explosive resistance, is that there's armored plating customizations, but they don't even do anything aside for cosmetic looks. The armored plating options don't actually, like, make the windows bullet resistant or anything. So yeah, Minute Squatty not very good at all. So I'd skip out on that one. Especially at 25%, I'd probably just wait till the next update or something when it can start getting like 40% discounts and stuff. Veter. As for the Veter, that's a Prime Gaming discount that's been going on for the longest time. It's like 25, 35. Yeah, I think it's 35% Prime Gaming discount for the Veter. I explained it when it first became Prime Gaming discount. But yeah, it's only a Pegasus vehicle, so I really wouldn't recommend that one unless you like custom Pegasus vehicles. Barrage is also a Prime Gaming discount, and yeah, that one's very in-depth, so I'm not going to go in details on that one. So yeah, Barrage, I'm sure, is a very good Prime Gaming discount for those who don't have it already at 80%. But yeah. Next new discount for Event Week for everyone is the Chernobog. Chernobog instead of 2.4 mil, which the trade price is almost 1.5 mil. Or actually, the numbers were a bit off. 2,490, 2,494 right now. So 996,000 in savings, I think, almost a million, so pretty good. But yeah, the Chernobog. Chernobog, I believe, is like the Rhino tank, where it can actually ram into vehicles, but not only that, but if it rams hard enough into vehicles, it can actually make them explode. So it has that unique feature with the Rhino tank, which actually is also on discount. So yeah, it can actually make vehicles explode by ramming into them. It's actually kind of a unique feature it has, in addition with the Rhino tank, and there's actually the only 2 vehicles in the game with a feature like that. I can think of on top of my head, at least in that kind of way. And yeah. For weaponry, the only other weaponry it really has, I think, is the, like, missiles on it. But yeah. You can't really move the vehicle while using a missile, so it's best to use it with a friend. So it's not a very good solo vehicle. It also has no explosive resistance, because it's like missiles, because it's really good missiles. But even then, the missiles, I heard, have like pretty bad flaws as well. So they're good missiles, but they do have their flaws as well. They're not as good as like Runer 2000 missiles, I'd imagine, for sure, in a sense. I don't know, maybe they have the best tracking missiles, but it has so many limits, obviously that's not really worth it anyways. You might you might be able to put an anti-aircraft trailer on the back though, similar to like the Night Shark. I'm not too sure on that one either. So if that's the case, especially with a friend or two, this vehicle can be absolutely devastating. But yeah, is it a very useful money-making vehicle? Absolutely not, I'd say. I guess it has more uses in just a racing situation, obviously. Which it's not really good for that anyways, but yeah. But yeah, most of the very good grind vehicles are like air vehicles in some way, shape, or form, so obviously wouldn't really be that good for grinding purposes. Certain pickup, by the way, is not actually on discount, just got stuff at the moment. But yeah. Going back again to another Pegasus, not Pegasus, but Prime Gaming discount. Brickade, again, that's been going on for a couple weeks now. But really, it's mainly only useful if you want like all the Pegasus vehicles. However, unlike the Reader, it does have the extra advantage of being a secure serve CO vehicle, so you can actually spawn it as a secure serve CO. And it does have some of the most seating capacity as it says secure serve CO vehicle, so it does have that. But yeah. Not really too worth it for those who are curious, besides for those couple purposes. And Buzzard's not actually on discount, just got stuff at the moment. But yeah, the Rhino tank is also on 40% off, which really its best feature, as I mentioned, is the ability to make vehicles explode when it rams into them, but obviously that comes with the con of it getting damaged as well. So this and this Chernobog are like a couple of the only vehicles that can explode vehicles when running into them, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Besides for that, it's a very outdated tank, and it did get nerfed from like way back in like day one of the game, around there. So it's not as good as it was when it first came out, honestly, in day one of the game. So really, it doesn't have much of anything going for it, so really it's only best if you want to collect all the different Pegasus vehicles in the game. Aside for that, pretty useless. Besides for its unique ability to run explode vehicles when running into them. But yeah, I'm just making sure right now and I covered everything, and it looks like I did. But yeah. That is finally going to be it for a 7-week stream, even though it's like very early Tuesday. I still decided to do it as I usually do. I don't think I missed a single event week, and I want to do my best to make that the case. So yeah, I don't think I've ever missed a single event week at all. But yeah, I know this one's pretty late, but it's because I've been playing Red Dead Online like crazy for a lot past number 4, making sure I got it, obviously. Especially with all the golden nurse in that game, it's been kind of more annoying to go for the Outlaw Pass. Outlaw Pass number 5 is apparently out now, as of like today now. So I guess that confirms we're not getting like another DLC for Red Dead for a while, for some reason. So hopefully next Red Dead update is actually a huge one, like our last one with that Bounty Hunter expansion. Because it might not be coming till like May or June, I believe, since Outlaw Pass number 5 came out. And I doubt they would release a DLC in the middle of an Outlaw Pass. And yet GTA got a random like update for consoles and PC, which I think is mainly only useful for PC. It actually improves the load time significantly or something, apparently, from what I've heard. But I don't think that's the case at all for consoles. So if anything for consoles, probably just bug fixes for the like patch update, not like content update, but just patch update. So yeah, next stream will also be the next Reddit Online event week streams, definitely. And hopefully I finally do some video content, though. I keep saying I want to, but I never do, but who knows, maybe I finally will. Honestly, I really need a break from Reddit Online. I kinda wanna, like, do more stuff with GTA Online, so maybe I will finally get back to video making. Since Reddit Online really drained me, like, it's mainly just collecting a bunch of stuff in free minutes. It's basically the best thing to do, and it's pretty boring in the game right now, aside for obviously all out passes. Though I did get Naturalist level 20, rank 20, and Trader rank 10, which were my goals, and I did that yesterday, and kind of early today as well. So again, that's why the streams really is. I've been playing Reddit Online like crazy the last week or two. But yeah, next stream will be Reddit Online event week stream, most definitely, since it starts today and it has already happened kind of for its first day, not even. And yeah, I'll make video content for this game since I'm kind of really drained on Reddit Online, I feel. Have like 3,000 bucks, I don't know what I want to do within that game. I did actually buy a large delivery wagon and a hunting wagon. But yeah, that will finally be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.